see it, Bitcoin needs Amiko Pay, and Amiko Pay needs you. If there's anything you can do to help this project, I think that would be great. Even if it is not about the core developments or cryptographic protocols, then if you can make a website for this or even a logo, I would have liked to have a logo in this presentation, but I don't have any. Or if you know how to get funding to spend more resources on this project, if you have experience in or ideas about where this would be useful and what kind of features are needed for a payment system like this, anything. So.
And the difficult thing is that it's, if I understand it well, the basic problem you solve is the community problem of the blockchain limitations. That's what you want to solve. But from a client consumer perspective, or what do the lower fees? Okay, yes. That I can circumvent.
Well, waiting for confirmations.
Waiting for confirmations. Second.
So from a consumer view, these are the two direct advantages. You have lower fees and you get immediately
okay, so that's the...
but for the community, you have the advantage that the system can stay decentralized and can still be scalable.
That's clear. But who pays for that's always a difficult thing in games or game theory. Who will pay for that? Yeah.
But I already have some immediate advantages for
for the users.
Yes.
Especially for merchants who are waiting for the payment exceptions and now taking a big risk.
And I think this can also be an argument against centralization of the blockchain itself. There are, for instance, there is the idea of continuously increasing the blockchain size, so allowing more and more transactions to enter the blockchain. And I think this can be harmful if the blockchain really becomes large, then more and more people start choosing not to verify the blockchain. And then you may end up with a smaller and smaller elite of people.
More and more vulnerable.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's already like running on a low-end computer in the middle of Africa. So now you see testing of 20 megabytes blocks. You can't run on your computer anymore.
No. So that's why I think this is important technology.
Is there any reason why people shouldn't do also big transactions with it?
Because the capacity for big transactions is limited. All those transaction channels, you cannot go over the maximum of what can be spent on a transaction channel. So if you try to perform big transactions on the Amiko Pay network, it will simply say, I cannot find a route that has enough funds.
But if you do, instead of sending someone 100 Bitcoin, you can send in 100 times 1 Bitcoin.
Yes, and if you wait in between, then you might be lucky that there have happened transactions in the other direction, and then those funds become available again for the new Bitcoins you sent.
Okay, but to say like this, it is not designed for that. It is not designed for big transactions.
No, it works better for small transactions. Yeah. And in that sense, it complements the blockchain, because in the blockchain, you have a constant fee, effectively. So as a percentage, the fee becomes smaller for large amounts. But for in Amiko Pay, small transactions are more likely to succeed. So they complement each other.
But Amiko Pay in this design cannot exist without Bitcoin?
No, it cannot.
Okay. Because it uses Bitcoin as the backup, so
yes, but it can also be built on top of another blockchain like cryptocurrency. So, but yes, it is built on top of a blockchain currency.
Nullability is also a problem for you, isn't it?
It is. Yes, but I expect that malleability is a solvable problem and that there is consensus that that we want to solve it. So in the long term, I'm not worrying so much about malleability.
I think some of the core developers say that malleability is not 100% solvable. There's always like a little bit of,
Really?
but some, even inside the signatures, for example.
Yeah, because malleability is because if you have a transaction, the transaction ID is the secure hash of the entire transaction, and the signature only signs a part of the transaction. It cannot sign itself, for instance. And the difference between these two, so the parts that is not signed, that can be changed by an attacker, and that creates the malleability. So the way to solve malleability is to create a standard format for that part that is not signed, and only accept transactions that have a standard format for that part. And I'm not sure why that cannot be 100% fixed.
Yeah, well, I think they're fixing that now, but one of the things is that you can have a signature, a positive number, and then the negative number is going to be valid as well.
Yeah, well then you standardize it has to be a positive number, for instance.
They're doing that now, but in that direction there's a few more tricks you can do, I think. And then
There are more
tricks
tricks,
are not fully.
but well, I would expect that there's only a finite number of tricks you can perform. And if you fix all these things, then there's no more malleability.
You should have been at the Bitcoin hackathon, didn't you?
Yes, I
You would have
couldn't.
earned in Bitcoin.
I couldn't be there, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Oh, but you knew about it.
I knew about it.
Oh, okay.
Have you tried anything like Lighthouse, for example?
Not yet, but I know about it.
Because that's perfect for a project like this.
For funding a project like this. Yes. I will look into it. Yes.
Do you also use Bitcoin J?
No, I don't use it. I know they have a micropayment channel implementation. It might be interesting once we start porting this to Android. Then Bitcoin J is an obvious way of getting the Bitcoin functionality in your application.
Are you waiting for a blockchain now to test it on, or is that not one of your priorities? To actually have the technical stuff in it? It's pretty easy to fire a new blockchain.
Yes, but yeah, it's not really my top priority at this moment. Right now, I'm developing the software that does all the rest of the Amiko Pay and the functionality.
How far are you with implementing this?
Well, let's say the routing, for instance, finding a route over the network is currently implementing it as trying this interface. If it doesn't work, try the next interface. Just stupid, trying all possible routes. And it's quite inefficient, but it is guaranteed to find a route. But that's
Kind of like the Nutella?
I don't know how Nutella works. And for instance, payment on a link, it is linked to a sort of a micropayment channel, but there are no lock times yet. And also the nodes do not really perform checks on the transaction yet. So a lot of security essential features are still missing in the implementation. But in your own on your own computer, since you trust yourself, you do not need these security features, so you can also already see transactions, how transactions work.
Did you build the crypto cabinet yourself?
No, I built on top of OpenSSL. That's an answer.